Hey y'all, happy Saturday. How's everybody doing today? Hey, Three Heartbeats. Hey, Love Blake. How you doing, girl? I hope you guys can hear me. I am so sorry. It took me so long to get on, but honey, I kept getting sidetracked. Y'all know how that goes on this Saturday morning, right? So, honey, it is a chilly 14 degrees where I am, and I am in the house. I said, let me come on and talk to the peoples, right? Because I had some things to say. I hope you guys are enjoying your Saturday, by the way. Please hit the like button. Please share the video. I appreciate it. Y'all could be anywhere else, but you're here. Somebody, please let me know if you can hear me. The thing is moving, so I'm going to assume y'all can hear me. Hey, Room Shaker Love, how you doing, baby? So, y'all, I was going through these streets and it wasn't a lot going on to me, you know what I mean? But I came upon Ness's video from yesterday, a click in the view. Thank you. I came upon Ness's video from yesterday or last night or whenever it was, right? And so, honey, Pizzaro was on her swinging for her life. Pizzaro, I think Ness set you up, girl. Or either you set yourself up, because, honey, you were swinging with everybody. How you doing, Patricia Alexander? First, I heard her swinging with Uppity, and I must say, Pizzaro, you rather got dragged. I don't know if your mic was too low, or your drags was too slow, child. But Uppity got you. You know, Uppity out talking the whole time. She don't want to even take a breath. You know what I mean? And all of this and all that. She got your picture up as a thumbnail. It's a lot going on, right? Child. And then like it's uppity. She got into it with Tulsa. Now here's the and also uppity got into it with Tulsa or Dimples or something like that, or either both of them, right? Here's the question I got. Reason why I want to bring this up, y'all. Y'all please like the video. Please share the video, right? Here's the thing. Now you can't tell nobody how to fight, right? But here's the thing. Why is it that when some people fight, with the T girls or whatever you want to call them, they say whatever they want to say, all of this and all of that, the regular stuff, same things that I say, right? But I get a tag attached to what I'm saying. I'm hating. I hate the community, all this and all that. But you get a Pizzaro and an uppity up there saying the same things or worse than I'm saying, and they don't get called those things. And I'm thinking, it's very interesting, right? I'm like, okay, all right. So honey, Tulsa up there swinging at Pizzaro. She got you too, Pizzaro. I ain't gonna lie. They're talking about Uppity kids. I mean, not yeah, Uppity daughter, and ooh, child, there was a lot going on, right? And from what I understand, Uppity was over there even swinging around there to Jay Wilson's chat. I was like, baby, honey, she had to been drunk yesterday. But anyway, so fast forward to Pizzaro again, right? She gets to Ness says, I want to be messy for a minute, y'all, right? Per the title of the video, right? She said, I want to be messy for a minute, y'all, right? And she said, have y'all noticed that Pizzaro puts on her sexy voice when she starts talking to Malik? And I was like, what? I was like, And then Pizzaro started going off. She's like, you ain't gonna put that on me. You ain't gonna put that on me. And she was like, but you do be talking sexy and all this and all that. And Brooke was down there, right? Honey, and Brooke I guess Pizzaro got upset about it for real. Honey, she left and I think she started her own video, saying how she don't, have to deal with stuff like that when she go on Lemon's paddle or somebody else's paddle. But girl, you was going like it. When Uppity was dragging, when you and Uppity was back and forth, Pizzaro, did you notice that that music was that what do you call that show? NCI? No, not NCIS. Law and Order. I think it was at Law and Order Music. So she was really saying that you was get dragged, Pizzaro, right? So anyway, Brooks starts talking, Pizarro leaves, and Brooks was like, "Yeah, I noticed it, but I ain't worried about it, cause I ain't going back over there no more." But he go over there and he get a good little laugh or whatever, and it's okay. She know what it is. She can't compete cause she don't compare and all of this and all of that. I was like, "Ooh, child, ooh, child." So Pizarro, do you want Malik, girl? I was like, Lord, don't you have a and Pizarro was over there, it's like I got a husband, and all of this and all of that. And uppity and not uppity, but Tulsa was like, you said you got a husband and you on her begging and all of this and all of that. And I was like, oh Lord. She talked then she started saying her and Bree was gonna be on the 600-pound life like them sisters or something like that. I was like, oh Pizarro, child, it was not your day. Yeah, but I know how I feel, girl. Don't feel bad. Don't feel bad about it. I said, bye bye. Okay. So I noticed also, but anyway, I thought that was a good little kiki. I liked that video. I enjoyed the thing. I had the red ball forward and red ball back on it. It was so Pizarro was getting her head bashed in. I was like, girl, are you okay? Are you on? Do you need some life support? I mean, Lord have mercy. You didn't even pinch him, girl. You didn't even pinch him. And I was like, oh, Lord, she out child. But anyway, and what's the deal with the gumbo challenge? Tuss was like, you don't even know how long it take to cook gumbo and all this. And I was kind of confused about the gumbo challenge because it takes a very long time to cook gumbo, right? So I'm thinking, well, how long is this challenge gonna take? Like, do they have to? I mean, if you want to see them preparing the gumbo, right? Okay, they'll prepare the gumbo, but do you know how long a gumbo takes? It takes like all day. So are you gonna be live all day waiting for the gumbo to cook? Or can they prepare some of it in ahead of time? And if they prepare it in ahead of time, how are you going to see how they preparing it in ahead of time? So how exactly is the gumbo challenge going to work? You know what I mean? But okay, it'll be interesting, but I would like to see how she gonna pull that off. Cause it takes a long time to cook gumbo. Like we all know that, right? To properly cook gumbo, it takes it takes hours. Like, are you willing to be online for hours? Y'all, please hit the like button. Please share the video, right? And I'm like, wow, okay. But we're gonna have to see how that works out. But anyway, child. So also, yesterday, I don't know if you guys saw it. TrezurLane had a very good panel. James Caldwell had a very good panel. He said he came online because he was offended by something that somebody said, calling, soul food, they call it slave food, right? Hey bougie auntie, how you doing? So he hit the live button, to say, how he felt about that. And he was offended by that, right? There are a lot of people in the chat. Y'all know I love that type of conversation, right? And so I don't know if it was Nubiology, but I think it was Nubiology when James was getting ready to get off. She said he went from pork chops to politics, right? I was like, oh my God, that is a perfect name for the title of his video. He should have changed it to from pork chops to politics. I said, you go ahead on. But I think that, and if it was Nubiology, girl, you hit the nail on the head. Child, whoever said it, if it wasn't Nubiology, when it came to that live, honey, y'all hit the nail on the head, okay? It was a very good live. You know what I mean? He came on there because I find it very interesting how a lot of black people either are embarrassed of their ancestry or they don't know anything about their ancestry. You know what I mean? So, every once in a while, I don't know if you've been watching James Treasure Lane for a while, you know that every once in a while, honey, he'll go pro-black on you, right? And that's another thing. I don't understand why pro-black or black first has to be a bad word. Just like they call me the homophobic word when I'm going back and forth, with somebody in the community. They say I am either prejudiced or racist when I say I am black first. I don't understand that. Why do I have to be prejudiced or racist because I am for my people first? Like I don't understand that. Why does it have to be black and white? You know what I mean? People, I am not a black and white type person. I kind of move when it comes to certain type of toxics. I'm a gray area, right? I am a gray area, honey. I don't think about people long enough to hate them. Like, especially if I don't know you, like individually, right? And because I say I am for my people first, it don't mean that I am racist or have any misgivings towards, anybody else. You know, it's just like when I'm going at somebody on, here in the B sector, one of the T girls or whoever, right? So if you can't tell nobody how to fight, why do I have to have a tag placed on me? Like, I don't understand the double standard, but child, it is what it is, right? So anyway, it was a very good live. Like, I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed the conversation. I really enjoyed what James had to say. People were down in the chat. We were talking about you know, the subject of eating pig, whether to eat pork or not, right? And we know that pork, raises our blood pressure, and you have to eat it sparingly, and all of this and all that, right? But it was also, if it wasn't for things like chitlins and things of that nature, the scraps that we were given, not even given, but started, cooking in order to survive our ancestors, we wouldn't be here, right today. So I don't understand why it's a big deal, why it's a problem. Like I said, either you are embarrassed of your ancestry, and some people are, or you simply you don't know anything about your history as it pertains to chattel slavery, right? So I love that conversation. But child, I started getting irritated on that panel because Glitter Boots, honey, Glitter Boots hit the link, right? I was like, oh my God. I was like, I don't like to be on a panel with ZX. I think that he is very ignorant. Okay, he does not know what he's talking about. He trying to make sense out of nonsense. He just be talking slow, long, and wrong. And it's very irritating to me, right? So, honey, he hit the panel and he starts, on about his monologue. He wanna take over the show. He's the only one that want to talk. They're down in the chat. I got a lot of trolls. I think these trolls don't like what I have to say. They don't like to hear the truth. You know what I mean? And all of this and all that, and that's cool. But people like ZX, they give a lot of misinformation, right? As well as even some of the ladies on the chat. I was surprised by Natural Looks Diva, because Natural Looks Diva hits the link and talking about there is nowhere in the Bible that says you can't eat pork. I was like, what she say? I'm like, hold up, you supposed to be the church lady, right? So she was on my channel one time on my panel talking about, the designer outfit that she was wearing to church and all of this and all that. And I'm thinking, are you going to church just for a fashion show? Because clearly you don't read your Bible, right? It talks about pork being an unclean meat in the book of Leviticus in the Old Testament, right? Thank you, Bougiante. And so I'm thinking, girl, you don't know what you're talking about. See, that's what's wrong with some black people, right? They out for show, right? And then those ladies, on the panel, they were talking, that they went to college. They was AKAs or betas or zetas or who. I never, I never did the sorority thing. I never rushed for a sorority. I was far too independent. You know what I mean? And so anyway, they upper, they don't halfway know what they talking about. They say they went to a HBCU. And I'm thinking, did y'all not take African American studies? Like, what? And do they know nothing about geopolitics? ZX up there pronouncing Dr. Joy DeGruy's name wrong. There is no S in her name, ZX. You was just talking, giving misinformation, right? Slow and wrong, right? I'm like, oh my God, what is wrong with these people, right? You got people down in the chat, black people, I guess, but they were trolls. Maybe they weren't black, right? Child, and then on one part of the panel, he told me something. Well, what do y'all want? And, he's talking to black women, right? He was wanting to know what black women want, because we was having a conversation over talking to him, because he really ain't saying nothing at all, right? And so I told him I want black men to stand up and lead the community like they supposed to, right? So, honey, he was like, no, I'm talking about politics. I said, well, hold up, dude, you're changing the goalposts, right? So, but in my opinion, whether it's political or not, if you're not going to stand up and take your rightful place, then sit down and shut the F up. Because black women been holding up what's left of the community forever, right? We know black the collect, not individually, but collectively, black men, child, pretty much have been emasculated, right, via the system, right? So we know that, right? And so, I said that to him, and one lady got up, I think she said her name was Carol or something like that. Honey, she get up there cussing folks out. I've been trying to talk for an hour and blah blah this and blah blah that. I'm thinking, girl, if you in a sorority or or you had any sisters or something, and you've been in the B sector for a while, you got to get in where you fit in, right? What did you cussing people out for, right? So, honey, James, he just sitting up there. The women is talking. He ain't saying a word, right? And then he later said that I knew that you guys were self-correct because it really wasn't a video to. Oh, and y'all can hit the link if y'all got something to say. To be arguing about. We're talking about things pertaining to the community. And I'm thinking some of these ladies that are my age are clearly, I mean, I think they're misinformed, right? And they're very idealistic, right? I don't live in an idea. I live in the real world, right? I don't have fantasies or any type of delusions about what's going on in this country right now, right? And so, and that's what we were talking about, things that are going on in the country right now. And so, at one point in time, a lady gets up there and says that, she wants to see an end to, like police brutality. She wants the police to be defunded, or she want to rework it, or something she was saying, right? And I'm thinking, okay, so is that logical, right? Now, you can dream about it. Is it possible? Anything is possible, but at this point in time, in this country, at this point in time, is that uh is that something that will really happen in this country? And the answer is no. Pertaining to the climate, there's not going to be any type of police reform in this country at this point in time. Let's keep it a buck. You know what I mean? And I'm like, oh my God. And so then they kept talking about, we go to this what do you call it, this meeting, this whatever they have, once a year, and all of this and all that, as it pertains to, I guess, their sorority, and all of this and all of that. And it's some kind of political gathering or something like that. I think that's what Stephen was talking about. And I'm thinking all of this stuff is very ideological, you know what I mean? But it's not helping actually. I mean, it's cute to talk about it or whatever, you know what I mean? But I mean, like, if you actually want to make a change, the things that you are talking about are nonsensical, right? Like, at the end of the day, like in a perfect world, the things that you talk about, the things that you think you're doing, by these political gatherings and stuff, it will be effective. But as it pertains to the climate of the country right now, at this day and age, it's not very logical, right? So I found it very interesting, right? And so, and let me backtrack, y'all. So when I'm talking to ZX, telling him that men need to step up or whatever, somebody's joining the chat talking about, I'm being, I'm practicing. I'm talking about misandry, right? Misandry is the flip side of misogyny, right? It's female misogyny, if you will, right? And I'm thinking, how is this misandry? Just because I'm saying something that we don't have any leaders as men anymore, as black men in the community, not collectively. And then I asked the question, where are our Malcolms? Where are our Martins? Where are our James Baldwin? Where are these? Now I understand that nobody wants to martyr themselves anymore, but if you're gonna complain about it and you ain't gonna do nothing about it, then you just need to hush. In my opinion, that's just how I feel about it, right? Because, like I said, women been doing it for a long time, right? And so I'm like, the whole thing was just very interesting to me. I just love that panel, by and large. It was really good. ZX up there, like I said, giving out misinformation, talking about economics, just saying the same old spiel. All of they was, then they up there acting male identified to this ignorant fool. And I said, they must not know what he's about, right? And I'm like, oh Lord, the lady up talking some, y'all shut the F up. The man trying to talk. I'm thinking, what man is she talking about? She ain't talking to ZX. And who the hell is she hollering at? I'm like, girl, are you okay? I was like, oh my God. And I'm like, well, let me hush chat. And the reason why I do have a takeover spirit, mind you, that's why I have my own channel, right? But if you up there talking slow and wrong and ideological and not realistic, of course I'm going to take over the conversation, right? Because you're not making any sense. Like honestly, and natural look, Steve, a girl. For you to be the church lady, you ought to be ashamed of yourself, right? And so chosen by y'all, what is her name? Catherine Powell down there in the chat talking about some he was talking to the Jews and all of this and all that when it comes to, eating pork and it being unclean in the Bible, and he's telling the Jews not to eat it and all. Yes, he was talking to the Jews because it's the Old Testament. Okay, but it was in her. The point is, you said it wasn't in her at all. And what about the Muslims? They don't eat pork either, right? So clearly, he wasn't just, in their opinion, he wasn't just talking to the Jews. I mean, there are a lot of people don't eat pork. I live down south. I had to cut back on our pork intake because we are older, and I don't want my husband going nowhere early because of high blood pressure, me or him, right? And so anyway, but I don't have no issue with pork. I don't feel bad because our ancestors, ate chitlins to survive, and things of that nature, and even today, a lot of people. What about the gourmet restaurants that charge hundreds of dollars a plate for chitlins? And ain't nothing but chitlins, and they call it a delicacy. I forget what they call it. They call it something else. And James is talking about other things that they call a delicacy. That they took from black people. Like kale greens, for instance, right? And so I'm like, oh Lord, these people are ignorant. But child, what is it saying? My people die from a lack of knowledge or something like that. I was just amazed at the women my age that was so uninformed, right? Not all of them up there, but some of them. And I was just, but it was a very good live. I just didn't like all the misinformation. You know what I mean? That was my issue, right? That was my thing. Like, how do you honestly think that you could stop police brutality because we have a system of white supremacy racism, right? And when it comes to the police force, those are still, they are just the modern day patty rollers, right? We know that, right? The modern day slave catchers, right? They are set up to defend the Anglo. So as long as they are quote unquote they have supremacy in this country, why would they get rid of their own force? It's just like what Donald Trump is doing now. Are y'all paying attention? Honey, he done fired several high ranking generals up in the Pentagon, right? And no pork here. Yeah, a lot of people don't eat pork at all. You know what I mean? And and that's your choice, but the issue is we were talking about how it benefited us as us black people, how we had to survive out the scraps of stuff like pig, and chicken feed and things of that nature, and greens from the ground. Because if it wasn't for that, a lot of us wouldn't be here today. That's the issue. That's what I was talking about, right? And so anyway, uh, oh, I forgot what I was going to say. Yeah, yeah. Trump done fired all these generals in the Pentagon and all of this and all that. And see, I was trying to tell people yesterday that what's going on is he is doing all of this. He has an agenda, right? It may seem like he's crazy, but he ain't crazy. He's doing all of this for a reason because he wants to institute a quote unquote military state, right? Now, he told everybody what he was going to do and Project 2025, right? He said that he was going to bring about martial law. He is not lying. He wants to replicate Russia. He wants to be a dictator. He's starting too much trouble everywhere else with the Chinese. He's over there calling poor Zelensky a dictator because he's licking up under Putin's behind. And Zelensky is fighting. If it wasn't for Zelensky, child, Putin would have already been in Europe, in some places in Europe, right? And it's not even that. I don't call it poor man's food at all. Today we call it soul food. That's what we call it today. See, that's why James got mad yesterday because they was calling it slave food, right? And so anyway, And like I said, they sell these very same things that we had to survive on. They sell these very same things, hey Cloud, in restaurants for hundreds of dollars a plate. They just and he was even talking about the chicken wing, right? How they used to would eat chicken wings, right? And so now you can't go nowhere. That's the reason why chicken wings is so high today, because everybody wants a chicken wing, right? But used to be the Anglos wouldn't eat a chicken wing. Klaus said he wants to be the modern day Nimrod. Yeah, in his dreams, pardon my manners. Good morning, Auntie. And yeah, but I agree, right? But see, they don't want to even talk about who Nimrod was, Cloud, right? Nimrod was a African man in the Bible, and he is known as a great warrior. But he was also the first emperor to bring about. Well, he was the first man to build an empire, right? And he kind of set the standard for Egypt, and every other empire over there on the continent, right? When it came to the Black African Egyptians, they were first to have the empires, right? And things of that nature. But people don't want to talk about Nimrod. He created Babylon, which is he was the emperor over Babylon, which is the modern day Iraq. And things of that nature. Even to this day, they still worship Nimrod, right? And we know about the hey sexy cornbread, and we know about the Tower of Babel, right? The reason why the people were unified during the Tower of Babel, Nimrod thought he could sit beside God, right? So they start building this tower, and because God didn't appreciate that, that is why we have different languages today. The nations are divided, right, to this day, right? I disagree. I don't think Nimrod was a demon at all, right? I think that he forgot to be humble. That's what I think. So I don't think that I think that I don't. If he was a demon, God wouldn't have called him a great warrior. You know what I mean? He wouldn't have been able. He wouldn't have had the knowledge to build nations. So I don't. I think that he's misunderstood. I think that he did the same thing. A lot of us melanated people do today is to think that we are God and we are not. We are melanated. We are we are the universe. We are the earth, but we are not God. And so yeah, that's the reason why one reason why, in my opinion, we are still going through the things that we are going through as a people in totality right now. As far as it pertains to spiritual warfare, as far as it pertains to the whole world hating us, and there's a reason for that. And I feel like until we collectively fall down and prostrate ourselves in front of the Almighty Creator, I don't think anything's going to be different. And when it comes, I think they are called Cushite in the Bible. The Nimrod predates Cushite, right? Well, actually, you got a point because Nimrod was the son of who was he? The son of he was the son of oh shoot, I done got it mixed up. The son of Cush, the grandson of Cush, the grandson of Ham. I know he's the grandson of Ham, and Ham was the son of Noah. So his great granddaddy was Noah. I do know that. Nimrod bought us Christmas and Easter and all the other mess and indoctrinate us. Who told you that, sexy cornbread? He didn't bring us no Christmas and no Easter. I mean, they weren't serving anything like that in the Bible. They were not. Mm-mm. I think you're right. Son of Ham, grandson of Cush, uh, great grandson of Noah. No, grandson of Ham. Yeah, something like it. But anyway, I don't know where you read that in the Bible, but okay, girl. Christmas means Christ mass. That is not even in the Bible. So but okay, girl. And Easter, that's not mentioned in the Bible either. I don't know where you heard that, but okay. On down the road. Okay. But anyway, that's what I mean by misinformation, right? But everybody got a right to, believe what they want to believe. She believes that this is her opinion. I respect it. I respectfully disagree. No problem. People got a right to believe what they want to believe, right? And so anyway, uh child, but the panel it was very entertaining. There was a lot of misinformation, right? And so, but that whole thing with Natural Looks Diva, that just threw me for a loop right there. Now I realize Natural Looks Diva, that there are some churches that only preach and teach on the New Testament, right? But just because your pastor only teaches New Testament, that doesn't mean that the Old Testament is irrelevant, okay? Because Jesus did not come back to change the law. He says that in the Bible. He did not come back to change the law, right? We know that the first five books of the Bible are also is also pretty much the Jewish Torah, right? In Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy, right? Those five books are pretty much the Jewish book of Torah, right? And that is for a reason, right? And so Jesus came back, like he says in his own words, he came back, for his people and for the lost sheep, right? Which means he came back for the Hebrews and the Gentiles, in my opinion, right? So, well, it says it's in the Bible. That's the word. It's not just my opinion. You can read it for yourself, right? And so, because of that, I don't understand how you cannot want to research and understand the Bible for your own self, right? You don't let a man tell you what's in the Bible, your preacher or your priest or whatever, and you don't go back and do the homework for yourself. It's just like we're talking about the Bible right now, right? You still go back and research for yourself. Your opinion might be different from my opinion, because when you read the Bible and you have a personal relationship with the Almighty, you know what I mean? That is exactly what it is, a personal relationship. And your interpretation of what I'm talking about might be different from my interpretation. And guess what? That's just fine, because it's called free will. You see what I'm saying? But when you get these people that only listen to the pastor, that means, honey, you serving that man and you're not serving God, because you're not studying the word for yourself. You're not trying to come to your own understanding. And Natural Lux Diva, child, that is how people get in certain types of situations. Now, there's somebody on here right now that said that they used to worship under people like Juanita Bynum and T.D. Jakes. Okay, so we know that today the church is ruled by demons, right? Or you can't. The Bible says you can't serve God and money. So you get these mega churches that are only about money. And if you call yourself serving or listening to them instead of knowing the word for yourself, you can open the door to some demonic activity into your own life, right? And so you have to be careful of that. That's why you have to pray and fast. Pray for your own understanding, your grace, your mercy. And when it comes to the New Testament, we know that Jesus came back to be a bridge, right? To die for our sins, right? We know that, right? He did not come back to change the law. And what I mean by the law is the laws in the Old Testament. He will tell you, I'm not trying to go hard on her. I just couldn't believe that she didn't know that in the book of Leviticus they were talking about unclean foods, right? And we even got to talking about how shellfish is considered unclean, right? The Hebrews were supposed to eat shellfish, only freshwater fish. They weren't supposed to eat things like crabs and lobsters and things of that nature, because they are bottom feeders, right? They clean the ocean bed, so they considered to be unclean, just like the pig. The pig can eat anything, right? The pig can even be it not along with eating each other. The pig will eat humans. The pig will eat anything, right? It's like a human receptacle. It'll eat anything, right? But another thing about the pig, though, In my opinion, the reason why it's also deemed as unclean, it is because when it comes to the pig, and the organs and the skin, they are very close to the organs and the skin of a human being. So I think there's another reason, right? And so yeah, we was a Hebrew, or to keep the commandments. That's true. Some of us are Hebrew. Absolutely, absolutely. I've talked about that, in videos. A lot of people, a lot of our people, a lot of melanated people don't even realize that about themselves. You know, and so yeah, a lot of people don't even realize. See, we have that Bible. That Bible is pretty much when it comes to it's about us, right? At the end of the day, now you got a lot. You got the Egyptians thrown in, and the oh Lord, people thrown in that are not what they seem. I'm gonna put it that way. But then you have the true Hebrew, right? Then when it pertains to, in my opinion, when it talks about the 144,000, I believe that us melanated people are the set apart. I believe that some of us are the 144,000. I believe that we were set apart on this continent for a reason, right? Hey, Miss 313, I truly believe that. Now this is my opinion. You ain't gotta agree with it, but thank you for listening. I do believe that. I do believe now. They try to put on they put a pale face on Jesus Christ, right? But at the same time, it tells you, it describes to you what he how he was, right? It said he had skin of bronze, and hair of cotton, right? And I don't believe that he was black African, but I do believe that he was Hebrew, right? And then, um, if black people didn't have a part in the New Testament, a powerful part in the Bible, and that Bible was not about us, why was it a black man? What was his name? Simon of Serena or Syria or something like that. A black man. Why was he blessed with the task to carry the cross for Jesus, right? As he was fixed to be, as he was fixed to die on the cross for our sins. Do you know how much of an honor that is? And that honor was bestowed on a black African man. So you can't tell me that we are not, in my opinion, some of us, the lost tribe of Judah, that they don't want to talk about. So that's just, how I feel about it. But that's just me. You don't have to agree with me. That's the way I decode the Bible, right? And so, like I'm saying, and then even when it comes to the Ethiopians, right? When it comes to the Ethiopians, they were deemed a priest, even in Egyptian dynasties, right? I'm not talking about the black African Egyptians. I'm talking about the other Egypt, the lighter skinned Egyptians, right? The Egyptians of today, right? And so, but even there in the temples were ran by black African Egyptian priests, black African, I'm sorry, Ethiopian priests, right? So if we don't have any part in the Bible, if we don't have anything to do, historically or ancestrally, with the Bible or with the Almighty Creator, why are we all through that Bible? See, that is my opinion, and so that is how I decode it, right? This is the primary reason, many others, our history destroyed. So we and after us never learned the truth. Right, but so you have to study. You have to study and want to learn about your own culture and your own knowledge. You know what I mean? Your own knowledge of self, you know. Who is this right here? Hold on, y'all. Let me put my thing up because I never seen this thing before. Let me put up my what do you call it? My hold on. Let me find one. I forgot what you call it, but let me put it up, child. Let me put it up. Hold on. And anybody can hit the link too. I'll drop it again. Oh, hell no. Okay. Is this under new management?
Yes, ma'am, it is.
Okay. What can I do for you?
I thank you for having me up, first of all. I missed
Okay. I
that.
can't hardly hear you. I'm sorry.
Wait a minute. What about now?
Yeah, I can hear you. Let me read this first. Cloud said, we have an actual lineage with Christ, and said, we sure do, Cloud. After through Noah, via Noah, right? Which is why we are being punished today. I absolutely agree with you, Cloud. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Me?
Yeah, you go ahead. Uh-huh.
Alright. I come in peace. Peace and blessings. Um,
Okay.
I missed the Sir James live with y'all up there talking. You can put your banner down. I
Uh-huh.
know this your room.
Yeah,
But
go ahead.
anyway, did y'all what about chitlins and hog maws? Did y'all still
Uh,
consider them as slave food? Was it touched
no,
on?
I mean, see what happened was, James said he was in Pizzaro's chat. I didn't go back to listen to exactly, but evidently somebody called, I guess chitlins or something like they called it slave food, right? As you know, like it was a bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
And he felt a way about it, so he struck up a live because he was
Mm-hmm.
offended, by that. And I think a lot of people think that way simply because they don't know the history. Because if it wasn't for that quote unquote slave food, many of us wouldn't be here today because that's
That's
what
right.
our ancestors had to eat to survive.
They
So
had no choice.
they had no choice, right?
Yeah, and I thank our ancestors for all what they've done, even
Absolutely,
down to food, you know.
absolutely,
Thank God for
absolutely,
them,
absolutely.
because chitlins and hog maws are so good. And guess what? I'm gonna make me some this week. And then I'm done. I only mess with it in the wintertime, maybe
Good.
once or
That's right. Yeah,
twice.
now holiday.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
and
I
that's
mostly
it.
do it around holidays. Yeah.
Right, right. I did some around what was it? It was Christmas or either Thanksgiving, I don't remember, but
Hmm.
it was so good I had to go and get me some more, and
Yeah.
after this is it until if Lord let me see next year, until next
Right.
Christmas or Thanksgiving. But
Hmm.
I give honor. I bow down to them. They were some
Absolutely.
awesome people back then. They
Absolutely.
led the way for us to where we at now, and especially what we eat. You know,
Yeah. We are
they was
survivors. Yeah.
yeah, they were some great people, and the things that was done to them, and they were strong as hell.
Hmm.
Yeah, and I thank you for the reason why I came up because I can't text in your chat. You know that, but
Hmm.
that's all I wanted to say.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, peace and blessings.
Same to you. Have a great weekend.
You too. Bye bye.
Bye bye. So Cloud says, in my opinion, he had every right to be offended. I agree, Cloud. We we as always made. Yeah, we as a people always made something out of nothing. That's right, Cloud. And my issue was yesterday. There is coming a time, because Donald Trump is trying to roll us back to pre-civil rights era days, right? He's trying to reinstitute segregation. Not knowing full well that we were never really integrated. It was assimilation as opposed to integration. You know what I mean? But he wants to roll back us to what Jim Crow 2.0, right? And so, but here's my thing. What you mean by this sexy cornbread bestie? This is my tiny little way of poking fun at Lemon. What do you mean by that? By being in my chat? Is that what you mean by that? You want some attention from Lemon? So you in my chat? Is this beans and cornbread? By the way, is that what you mean by that? You over here because you want to poke at Lemon? Because you know I don't be seeing it for that food? Child, I hope you answer the question because it's interesting. Mm-hmm. Now hold on, y'all. Let me put my banner back up. And feel free to hit the link, anybody. Is this beans and cornbread?
Yes, Grand Rising.
Grim Razor, how you doing?
I'm doing well. This is my first time ever hitting your link.
Well, welcome.
Thank you. I have been listening to you for years and years and years and years.
Oh, wow.
And yes, I have to say I have always admired your spirit.
Oh,
You
thank you.
are you are kind of like a twin for me in spirit, because one thing about me is I'm never going to stop fighting for my people,
Absolutely.
and I'm never going to stop speaking up for my people.
Absolutely.
um I had a conversation with my supervisor this morning that disturbed me.
Mm,
It was disturbing, and the reason I say so, he said something to me that let me know that the stuff that Trump is doing has these people fooled,
absolutely.
because they really believe that he's doing something for the betterment of this country. And I told him, I said, you know what? My supervisor is not from here. My supervisor
Mm-hmm.
is from India.
Oh.
Yeah, from India.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, you don't understand. He was telling me, oh, Trump is just trying to get rid of all of the people who are not loyal. And I said, no, Trump is annihilating an entire nation of people.
Mm. Yeah, he's working on it.
And so, what you don't see, you don't
Mm-hmm.
understand, because you were not born here. You are not
Right.
from here. So, you
Mm-hmm.
can never understand. You are
Mm-hmm. Not
coming
not
here.
fully. I absolutely agree. Right.
Yes, you're looking through a pink lens.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
yes. And I said, I
You know,
need,
beans and cornbread. Let me ask you this question.
uh-huh.
Right. There was a. Do you know who Trevor Noah is?
Oh, yes, I know Trevor Noah from South
Yeah. Did you
Africa.
see? They were talking about? Well, they was dragging him because of a conversation that he had with two of female melanated professors, right? And he was speaking on segregation, right? But
Uh-huh.
you know, he's South African, right?
Right, right,
And what he was saying, I absolutely didn't agree with, because you can't, just because you have melanated skin, and you know he's a mixed race, but like he's South
right,
African, right? So
right.
you can't come over here and talk to black people about our history. Number one, if you wasn't raised over here, you have not. Now you've probably witnessed racism on some level, but you
He
came over here as an
witnessed
entertainer. But
apartheid,
as far as
which is
everyday
different.
life, you can never understand. You are not qualified to have that conversation.
Exactly.
That's why
I
they was
agree with
dragging
you.
him.
Okay. I agree with you wholeheartedly. Trevor
Yeah.
Noah is a product of apartheid. His
Mm-hmm.
dad was white and his mom was South African.
Right.
She was I believe she was of Mandinka, um I think she's from Mandinka, the tribe of Mandinka. But
Is that
at any
right?
rate, he's not from here, so he doesn't
Right.
get to speak on us.
Right.
And
He
my
really can't
problem,
understand. See, even though I agree with you, let me tell you why.
uh-huh,
Even though he is a product of apartheid, apartheid even was not as horrific or traumatizing generationally, ancestrally as chattel slavery. They simply cannot understand.
that's right.
There is no other people that were treated like our ancestors. If you know your history, you know this to be true. We know that every nation at some point in time has been enslaved, be
Yep.
it Anglo, honestly, or wherever, you know. But no other nation has endured what our ancestors had to endure. So
Wait,
no, he
wait a
can't
minute.
speak on it.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Let me say something. Do you know what truly ended apartheid? And it's actually still going on a smaller scale,
A smaller
because
scale,
what
like
they did,
racism, right?
yeah, they flipped the script. They
Mm-hmm.
said over there, okay, you know what? Since we're no longer going to be in power, let us reverse the laws so
Mm.
that we, quote unquote, maintain power, if
Ain't
you
that
know what I
something?
mean.
Mm-hmm.
So let me
That's the
say
same
this.
same thing Trump is trying to do right now.
Okay,
It's
say
called
it.
soft power. It's called it's something called soft power and hard power, right?
That's
When
right.
it comes to politics, right? Now, what Trump did to get in office was because he's clear racist and xenophobic, so he
Mm-hmm.
appealed to the Anglo, the
Right.
quote unquote supreme nationality over here, right? I'm trying to say it as best as I can, right?
Right.
And so he promised them all these jobs. We're gonna make America great again. As opposed, we're gonna roll it back to the 40s and the 50s. Pre
Pre-civil
pre
rights.
pre civil rights. We promised all this, right? But what they didn't realize was he was just pulling the wool over their eyes. Look at all of these people he done fired from federal offices, right? Now he was supposed to fire melanated people and replace, because it's in Project 2025,
Come on.
and other ethnicities of people and Democrats that didn't support him, and replace put people, his constituents, in those jobs, right? But
Right.
instead he's eliminated those offices. There are no jobs.
Right.
He's eliminated those offices, and so now a lot of these Anglos are waking up and they realize that, hey, we got hoodwinked and bamboozled.
Right.
You
And
know,
you know what is really, I won't say funny, I will say ironic. The
mm,
irony of it all is that we warned you, male nation. We warned you. We
yeah,
have warned you for years and years and years. And we
yeah,
have warned everybody and
yeah,
anybody within earshot. We
yeah,
told y'all. So
yeah.
stop begging for us to come and help.
Oh,
Stop
ain't
begging
that
for
the
us to
truth? Oh
protest
my God, can
because
you
we
please say
ain't
that
doing
again?
it. We're not
Girl,
doing it.
that is not our fight.
We're not doing it. We're
Amen.
done. We are done.
Amen.
We done.
Amen.
And you know what? Let me go back to this apartheid thing. The
Go ahead, honey.
reason why apartheid truly ended was because of the Black American. We
Mm,
boycotted. We boycotted Shell. We boycotted Exxon. We boycotted all of these AT&T,
mm-hmm,
anybody and everybody who supported apartheid in their own little way. We boycotted them. We didn't buy nothing from them.
mm-hmm,
Neiman Marcus, all of y'all, Chase Bank, Wells Fargo, we
mm-hmm,
boycotted. We didn't do no business with you. We took our money out of their banks. We kept our money. We sought after Black businesses in any and all ways that we could. And we did what we had to do. And you know what? Apartheid ended.
mm-hmm,
And
mm-hmm.
they thanked us for that. They did
Yep,
thank us. But
yep.
they in turn, they
Mm,
flipped the script. And I'm
mm-hmm,
talking about the white establishment, the
yep.
what do they call themselves? The Afrikaners. The
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Afrikaners
mm-hmm.
flipped the
Yep.
script and they came up with all these laws to still support themselves and prop themselves up in a
Yes.
superior position. So,
Yes.
in essence, nothing has really changed.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Nothing changed.
Right.
It was
Same
all
thing as
in name
America.
only.
Same thing as over here. You know, you can relate that as far as the civil rights fight, right? And
Yeah.
Dr. King realized, before he was assassinated, what did he say? That I have, integrated my people into a burning house, because he realized that, hey, um, whereas I think that, see, you got a lot of critics of Dr. King, right?
Mhm.
Well, people don't realize at the time that we didn't have a choice but to fight for integration, right? There was no way. Now, it would have been ideal if we could have fought for what Malcolm X wanted to do, which was separate but equal,
Right.
right? So, but because we historically we already knew that they weren't going to leave us alone, even if we separated. We
Mhm.
have examples of that via Black Wall Street, how they bombed us during the Reconstruction era. Black
Right.
people were not only surviving but thriving, right? So they felt that we were going to be competition, so they bombed There were many Black Wall Streets under the
Oh, I'm
Reconstruction
so glad
era,
you said that. Yes.
and they destroyed all of that, right? Because simply
Hmm.
because they didn't want us to be able to compete on equal footing, right? And
Exactly.
so, same thing when it comes to integration, right? I think that somewhere along the line, in my opinion, Dr. King realized that it was not integration that Black people were started to participate in. It was assimilation, right? And
Exactly.
assimilation means the Anglos are still doing what they're doing, but they're saying if you want to be a part of us, if you want to be able to enter our restaurants and spend your Black dollars in our stores, you're gonna have to start acting like us. You're
Right.
gonna have to assimilate into our way of life. That is not integration. That is assimilation. And I think that
Amen.
he realized that, and I think that he realized then that, hey, maybe I should have been fighting for something other than integration, you know. But at that point, but he was not wrong because he did not have a choice, right?
I agree with you 100%. And the reason I say that, I think I believe Martin Luther King was the donkey with the apple or in front of his. You know how they put that hat on the, they put that little cap on the donkey's head and they
Hmm.
dangle that apple in front of him so he'll just keep walking and walking and walking and walking.
Right,
I'm gonna be able to bite that apple and I'm gonna be fulfilled one
right,
day,
right,
sometime, at some point in time. I'm gonna
right.
be able to bite that apple. And
Right.
he they kept feeding him and feeding him and feeding him and
Yeah.
and fooling him into believing that
Hmm.
at some point, if you would just keep doing this, if you do this, if you do this, if you do this, you
Right.
guys, y'all gonna get to the mountaintop. I promise
Right.
you. I
Right.
promise you. It's gonna
Right.
happen. And
Yeah.
he finally realized, you know what, excuse my language, these
Hmm.
motherfuckers, we ain't getting to no mountaintop because ain't no
Right.
goddamn mountain and ain't no top.
That's
We've
right.
been traveling on flat land
Uh-huh.
all this
Mm.
damn time. We
Mm.
ain't going no. We in the same motherfucking place we started at. We didn't
Even
get
to this
nowhere.
day. Even to this day.
We have
Even to
not
this day.
moved. The
Not at all.
needle
In
never
60
moved.
years, since the civil rights.
That's
That's what I
right.
was talking about on James Panel the other day
Yes.
when Glitter Boots was up there talking about the civil rights movement and the bus boycotts and all this and all that. Them white people simply said, okay, if they want to destroy their Black businesses and but bring us all their businesses just
Yes.
because they don't want to sit on the back of the bus, okay, we'll take their money, but we
Yep.
don't have to change, but they have to assimilate into our way of life.
Exactly.
Our way. If they want to live in our neighborhoods, they got to come in our neighborhoods and assimilate into us, right? You have to act like us. Even to this day,
Absolutely.
when we go to
Yes.
work, we are one way at home and we code switch at work. That is
Yes.
assimilation. That is
Yes.
not integration. So I agree with you. Yeah.
Yes. You know what I want us to do? I want us to start doing is what other nations do. The Chinese, the Koreans, the Filipinos, the Nigerians, the Kenyans, the Haitians. You know what they do? They don't assimilate.
Hmm.
You see all these people running around here, they waving they flags of their own nation.
Hmm.
How dare you?
Yep.
We were born right here. Who the hell do you think you are? You
Yep.
running around with your own fucking flag, waving
Yep.
your shit. You got your stuff stuck in your window when you driving around.
Yep.
You
Yep.
waving your flag like you
Yep.
proud. It ain't nothing wrong with you being proud, but it's an
Right.
insult. It's an
Yeah, but see,
insult
that's
to
what I
me and
meant by
mine.
beans and cornbread. That is
Yes.
what I meant by when I say I am Black first, right? People
Yeah.
think it means that I am racist or I am prejudiced, right?
No.
So what you just explained is the one thing that Black people don't do. We invite everybody to the cookout.
Yep.
They was up on a panel. One of the ladies told me something. I love everybody. Okay, that's fine. But what's wrong with saying you are for your own people first?
Yep.
Why do I have to be racist or prejudiced? Because every other race and nationality is for their own people first. What do
Yep.
you think that white pride means and
That's
white
right.
power? And like you said, and the Hispanics come over here and they they have their flags, and they praise their culture. They don't try to
Yep.
assimilate, into white supremacy, right? It
Exactly.
is only us that do this, but that is because of cognitive dissonance, right? Because
Mhm.
deep down, when it comes to some black people, the only thing the only way you can feel safe is you feel like you have to assimilate. The only way you feel like you can make it is you have to love everybody, which is fine, but why can't you love yourself first?
But you know what? The blueprint, the blueprint ain't about us. The blueprint is about everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
We're the ones that everybody step and stomp on and
Yep,
spit on when they
yep.
get what they want.
And
We
the
are the ones.
Okay, you know what? And the
Mm-hmm.
Hispanics, am I telling the truth? Yes or no? The
Yes.
Hispanic stuff that they were going to do that to us, right? The
Yeah,
reason why
you
they
are
supported
telling the
Trump,
God's truth. Speaking,
yeah,
you
they
speaking to
supported Trump
God
because
right
they
now.
felt like they wanted to take our spot and kick us out the way because
That's
we were
right.
at the bottom of the rung. They wanted to take our place, step on us, and climb above us. That's what they thought they were going to do. So they supported Trump, only to find out now he got ICE and they running for their life, right?
But look,
He don't
have
even
you
care if
seen?
you was born here as a Hispanic or a Latino. He
Okay.
want to send you back over there.
Baby, let me tell you something. This is a message. This is a message to every Hispanic, every Israeli, every Iranian, every
Mm-hmm.
Ghanaian, Nigerian. I have Nigerians in my family, baby. Nigerian, Libyan, damn Haitian, any
Mm-hmm.
and every damn body that wasn't born here, and you crossed the doggone burning doggone seas and sands to get here. You
Mm-hmm.
climbing here on our backs. You
That's
got
true.
here because of us,
That's true.
because of the blood, sweat, and tears of our ancestors
That's
and
right.
our what we do today.
That's
So
right.
make no mistake. If
Yep.
anybody gonna be deported, don't look back and think it's gonna be us.
No.
You gonna go
They
first.
cannot do that to
You going.
melanated people. You know why? Because our blood is in the soil.
That's
They
right.
brought our
We
ancestors over here.
500
We did
years
not
in
ask to
this.
come over here. We were not immigrants.
Yep.
Okay, we were brought over here under duress. We were kidnapped from our homeland and brought over here to work as slaves, as
Let me
chattel
tell you
slaves.
something, Olivia.
So no,
We're
you cannot. You can.
Americans.
They could never. And I hate it when even to this day you hear Anglo saying, go back where you came
Mm.
from, honey. We can't. You mean from the state that I was born
I'm
in?
from right
Because my
here.
my ancestors' blood is in this soil.
Baby,
If you telling me to
please.
go back where I came from, then that means you need to go back where you came from because this is the indigenous Indians. This is their country.
Look,
You go back where you
we
came from.
been here 500 plus, and a whole lot of us was already
Was
here.
already
So
here.
you don't get to look back and say, "Oh, well, what about you guys?" No, because you know what? What they thought was, "Oh, well, them niggas, they gonna
Mm-hmm.
get rid of them first." Every time
Mm-hmm.
people go behind
Yep.
that curtain in them poles, they
Yep.
think they hurting us. You're
Yep.
not hurting us. We've
Yep.
been struggling and we've been making it for a
Yep.
very long time. We
Yep.
have warned you. You did
Yep.
not heed our warning. And you
Yep.
know what? That's on you. But
Yep.
at the end of the
Yep.
day, we ain't
Yep.
going nowhere.
Nope.
We're not
Because we
going
don't have to.
anywhere.
Absolutely.
No,
Our blood is in the soil, just like theirs is. We ain't going nowhere.
nope, we're not moving.
And they can't even to this day, this country cannot function without us, melanated people. Just like it did before, it's not going to do it now. We're
Nope.
not going anywhere. Why do you think Trump is wanting to go back, make America great again, subjugate black folks into doing manual labor jobs? That was the plan. We're gonna get rid of all of the migrants and the Latinos and fire all these black people and get rid of DEI, and they're gonna be butlers and waiters and maids and farm workers and all of this stuff. That's why we get no. That's not going to work. We're not going to do that. No.
You know what's funny about that? Here, I live in California. It's really funny that people think that the reason a lot of those people are illegal immigrants.
Mm.
They have those people there because they pay them nothing. They
Nothing.
literally pay
That's
them
right.
nothing. They're
Yep.
off the table people who
Yep.
go to places like Modesto and Visalia because that's the produce capital of this country.
Mm.
Right there in
Mm.
Castro Valley, right there in California, where all of your bell peppers and your onions and your
Mm.
habanero peppers and
Mm.
all those things, your celery, all of that comes from there. And they
Mm.
don't pay them anything. They treat
Nothing.
them like shit. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm don't
Mm.
excuse my language because it is what it is. And they don't pay
Uh,
them any medical insurance. They don't pay them any
mm.
kind of benefits. We as Americans, we will demand more. The
Yes,
reason why
absolutely.
they're able to get away with it is because those people are illegal. They're
Yeah.
illegal.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
ain't nothing wrong. Don't make no mistake. There
Yeah.
is nothing wrong with people crossing that border and wanting a better way of life.
Right. Yeah. No, I
Ain't
don't.
nothing
Yes,
wrong with
absolutely.
it.
I don't have a problem with that. Honestly.
No, it's the way that they're treated. And it's the
Right.
way that they put off that our government tries to propagandize. Oh,
Yeah.
well, they're the only ones willing to do the job.
Right.
No, in reality, they're the only ones that are doing the job because we as Americans, we gonna demand that you pay up or get the
Yes.
fuck on. We're
Or
not
get
going to
it.
work for
Thank you.
pennies. We're not gonna work
Thank you.
for no benefits. We're not
Yep.
finna work for no $4 and $5 an hour. You gonna pay
Right.
us the going motherfucking rate. We're not doing
Absolutely.
it. That's
Absolutely.
the issue that they're
You're
not
right.
talking about.
You're absolutely
So
right.
you
You're
using these
absolutely
poor
right.
people, and I feel bad for them. God knows I do. You
Mm-hmm.
using these poor people as a way to propagandize a whole situation, and
Yeah.
you making people believe, well, they're the only ones willing to do the work. I bet you, if any one of them companies came up and said, you know what?
Mm.
We, the Produce Incorporated of America, are willing
Mm.
to pay $22 to $25 an hour
Mm-hmm.
plus benefits to anyone willing to come out here and pull up all the bell peppers.
Mm-hmm.
How many
Mm.
Americans do you know will go down there and apply for that job?
Yeah, they be stumbling over each other to get down there to
Child,
work. You know what I
please.
mean? So yeah, you're absolutely right about that. So
And
if and that's what I'm saying. So if that is the plan, for us, then they're gonna have to give us a living wage, and we're not gonna do it.
that's right. We ain't doing it.
We are not illegals. You cannot treat us like that. But see, out when it comes to the illegals, like it's bad what they're going through. But see, that is not our fight. This thing going, what Trump is doing to this country right now, beans and cornbread, it is not our fight.
It's not.
Because, like you said, a lot of even some of us voted for him, right? We got a lot of Sambos in this world, right?
Yep.
And a lot of fools. Okay, a lot
We
of
gonna
people that
see.
suffer
Yep.
from cognitive dissonance. A lot of people that are ashamed of themselves and they start doing all this type of ignorant nonsense, right? And now they realize that hey, he lied to us, right? But
Mm-hmm.
he really didn't even lie. He told you. Do you know anything about Project 2025? He told you what he was going to do, and
Yep.
he's followed it to the letter, right? It is his version of Hitler's Mein Kampf. That's what it is. The man is he crazy. There's something wrong with him, but he Hitler type crazy. Do you see what I'm
Right.
saying? Even the way he moves, he wants to institute martial law. That is why he fired several of those generals around there to the Pentagon.
Yes.
He knows exactly what he's doing.
And you know
Okay.
what's
But the
crazy?
only thing is now the Anglo is upset. They scared. They done lost their jobs. They don't know how they're gonna feed their families. When it comes to farmers, like you're talking about, they don't know how their produce is going to be picked. So
Yep.
they're going to be losing money. So they mad at Trump. What did they think was going to happen?
He he is affecting everyone on every level.
Yes. Yep.
Even the goddamn roaches and rats are mad in this country. Everybody mad.
Okay.
Everybody.
Okay.
The
Okay.
motherfucking roaches and rats. Where my crumbs at? You
Okay.
mean to
Can't
tell me?
even get a girl. You better
Okay.
say that again.
I've been roaming through the city streets and I ain't been able to
Yeah.
come up with a crumb. Where the
Yeah.
hell? What the fuck is going on here?
Yeah. Can't even get a crumb from Master's
I
table.
can't
Come
get
on, Bible.
nothing. This
Hmm.
man in effect, who voted for this fool? Who?
Yep.
Which one of y'all?
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
rats and roaches is mad too.
Okay. I heard
Damn it.
that. Yeah. Mm-mm.
Hell,
You
everybody
right.
mad.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why I said that is not our fight. Because, like you said, they were warned, and I absolutely agree with that statement. Absolutely. But how
Hell.
could you knew what he did the first time he was in office, doing how he mishandled COVID and things of that nature. And then
Yep.
you got all these crazy people in these positions. You're getting rid of departments like the FDA, the Food and Drug Administration. We're no longer with the World Health Organization. You got crazy RFK in there suspending mandatory
With his damn
vaccinations. But you
girl.
got a measles outbreak in Houston and Mexico. I'm like, what?
Uh, oh God. You know what? Me and you can have a conversation forever and forever.
Yeah. But I absolutely agree with you. You are absolutely right.
Lord, y'all don't let this little avatar fool y'all. I'm just a little old chick sitting around here worried about my people. That's all.
Okay.
And I speak for us any and all ways I can. I just want the best for us. And
Me
I'm
too.
really concerned
Yeah. Yeah.
because I see this little orange dude
Yeah.
getting rid of a whole lot of things that
Yeah.
we built. He's
Yes.
dismantling it all. And it's so
Yes.
wrong. And
Yes.
what we built not only helped us, it
Yes.
helped a whole nation of others. Although
Yes.
they
Yes.
benefited, we laid the
Yes.
foundation.
Absolutely.
And we deserve so much more respect than what we
Absolutely.
got and what
Other
we're
races
getting.
of people benefited from DEI, affirmative action,
Yes.
and things of that nature.
Yep.
I absolutely the civil rights movement in general. I absolutely agree with
Yep.
you.
And look
But we
at the
don't get credited for any of that.
oh
But when
yes.
they get in trouble, they always try to jump on our coattails. You know.
Yep.
And so that's why I say this is not our fight. It just is not, in my opinion.
Y'all stand down. Stand down when they start talking about these Palestinians. Stand down when they start talking about this immigration stuff. Stand down.
Yeah.
These things are not our issue. We have
No, this is
our own.
not our problem. Yeah.
We have our own.
Mm,
And it is far beyond. Where were any of these communities when our people and we still getting lynched every day?
yes.
Where
Absolutely.
where were they when we
Yeah.
getting shot down like dogs in the street? Many of us
Yep.
have lost family members. Where were these communities? They
Yeah.
want to know. When you look around, you didn't see nobody, but
Yeah.
they want us to protest.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
no, we're done. We
Yeah.
are
Like I
done.
said, this is not our fight.
Yep.
You're absolutely
Sit
right.
down and take a rest,
Yeah.
black
Because we're
people.
gonna survive regardless.
That's right.
We still
That's
gonna
right.
survive regardless. Wildcard said Trump is the face. He is a puppet. He wants to be an oligarch, but he's not. When they're done with him, they're gonna be done with him. Look at how foolish Elon Musk, another South African. Look
Yeah.
how foolish he acted. Look at how Trump is allowing him to chop up our gun. It's not
Yep.
deport him. Why is he still here? Why
Mhm.
come I ain't seen him back to South Africa? Okay.
This man
And
would
so you
be
want
Africa.
he's been given access to every little thing as it pertains to our government, all of our
Right.
governmental information. He has access to all of that stuff, you
Yep.
know? And
It's
that is
true.
crazy to me. I'm like, what is going on? And then, well, I know what's going on. And then you got people like people backing Trump, like, well, of course, say he's a puppet, and I agree, like Zuckerberg and Bezos and all of this and all that. See, they back the wrong oligarch, right? So
Mhm.
they want to be the new oligarchy, right? The people that really run this country, right? The government is
Right.
only a mask as well, right? It's just
Right.
as well as Trump. He a worker bee, right? He wants to be a part of the oligarchy. That's what he
Mhm.
wants. But at the end of the day, that's not going to happen, But they're letting him tear all of this stuff up right now because it is for their benefit. I told Glitter Boots, ZX, he talking about something. Well, you can overthrow the oligarchy. No, you cannot.
No, you can't.
That
No,
is
you
where
not.
that is power. That is true power. That is beyond money, honey. That is power. So your little economic boycotts and all of this and all that. No, No, that is not going to work for oligarchy. You cannot overthrow an oligarch.
ZX better read 1984. You talking about
Child.
whole power structure. This power structure we talking about is so great. They
Yeah,
are a monster. You cannot
yeah.
fight them.
It's a whole system.
You
It's even greater and stronger
can't
than
fight
white.
them.
The system of white supremacy racism
Yeah,
is the progenitor of white supremacy racism.
exactly. You can't fight.
So yeah, I mean, what are you talking about, dude?
You cannot fight them and you cannot win. It's like the little man who is trying to argue with the police officer over a
Mm-hmm.
traffic stop. The
Yeah.
police are the most organized crime unit in the
Mm-hmm.
world. You
Mm-hmm.
cannot beat them and you cannot win.
Mm-mm, mm-mm. It's
The
some
police,
Mayflower,
yes,
powerful, wealthy people.
you can't
Their
beat them.
their oligarchy started over there in Europe. They simply crossed over to the Americas
That's
so
right.
that because they didn't want to be up under the king and the queen anymore. They wanted to start their own king and queendom, right?
Yep,
And so they put on the face of it as government, right? As Republican and Democrat.
yep,
That's for the common man, making you think you got a choice when you vote and all of this and all of that. And to some extent you do, because they can't just totally dismiss it, but
right,
they totally dismiss. Let me tell you where it went wrong, right? In my opinion, this is why we know that every empire has always destroyed itself, right? Because
right.
every empire implodes, it destroys itself from the inside. We got a perfect example of the Roman Empire. Many dynasties. If you want to go back to the Egyptian dynasties, right?
Mhm.
They always implode. They always destroy themselves from within, right?
Yep.
Many iterations when it comes to the Russians over there. The
We're
czars and stuff,
this.
how they destroy themselves
You right.
from within, and they got dictators now like Putin, right? But they fight amongst themselves like they only do, they do now. The reason why, on a side note, what because we know Trump loves him some Vladimir Putin, right?
He
So
do.
the reason why the Russians, on the side note, never participated in the Atlantic slave trade because they was too busy over there trying to enslave their own damn people, and that's what they trying to do right now with Ukraine.
Yeah.
So I don't even know why Trump is over there trying to intervene or put his foot in anything. Honey, you ain't got nothing to do with that. Just like he ain't got
But
nothing to do with over there around Netanyahu in Israel when it comes to Palestine. Do you realize that that is a spiritual war that has been going on for centuries about that little Gaza strip, that
mm,
little strip of land? How you feel like you gonna come in and buy it and rebuild it and tell the Palestinians they can't live there no more? Fool, you sound ridiculous. Even yet, Netanyahu had a dumbfounded, stupid look on his face because he was saying it to his mind. Listen to this fool.
you know what? I there right there is where me and you we disagree.
Mm-hmm.
That Suez Canal,
Mm-hmm.
that Suez Canal,
Mm-hmm.
historically and even today, has
Mm-hmm.
been the source of wealth for many nations. So you
Yeah,
tell
I'm not talking about the canal. I'm talking about the Gaza Strip. I'm talking about the Palestinians.
right,
They're
okay,
fighting with the Israelis for that little strip of land, with the Jews for that little strip of land.
that land don't belong to neither nation. It don't belong to the Palestinians or them so-called Jews of
That's
today.
right.
It does not belong to either one of them.
I
I
agree with
say
that.
let them fight. That's not our fight.
That's not our fight.
We don't
That's
have
what I
anything
meant. So
to do
why
with
do
that.
Trump think he can come in and
Yep.
intervene?
Knock yourselves out. That's not our fight. We ain't got nothing to do
That's
with that
not our fight. Why is he
at
over
all.
there?
At all.
That's been
So,
going on for centuries,
mm-mm. Nope.
since biblical times. So
That
what? What is
land
the
don't belong
problem?
to them, and it don't belong to those Israel. It wasn't even there. If you look at the old maps, that ain't even Israel. No, that ain't our
That
fight.
is not.
We gonna leave
But
that
I'm
alone.
thinking, why, child?
That land
We
don't
don't
belong
have
to
nothing to
neither
do
one.
with that.
So let them knock themselves out if that's what they want to do. Don't be
If
holding
that's what
up no
they've been doing
flag.
it.
Nope. Leave it alone. Stay out of it. Stay
Don't have
out of
nothing
it.
to do. The reason why we was over there, what Cloud was fighting for 20 years, we didn't have nothing to do with that
Nope.
war.
Nope. And don't ask me nothing about it because I have no opinion.
Exactly. We have nothing to do with that. In my opinion, why are you over here trying to dictate to another country how they're supposed to run their country?
Right.
You're too
Right.
worried about the wrong thing.
So no, we need to be concerned about our situation right
Exactly.
here. This is
Exactly.
our concern where we are
Exactly.
right now. This man
Yeah.
is trying to hide our history. He's trying
Yeah. Yeah.
us
Yeah.
from knowing about ourselves. We most of us born in the 40s, 50s, 60s, and 70s, we know who we are. It's the
Yes.
fact that they trying to keep us from telling our children and our grandchildren.
Yes.
That's the
Yes.
problem that I have.
Amen. I
And
do agree with that. You have
and
to tell
everything.
your young people in your family, your history, your own self, because they're
Yes.
not gonna learn it in school. What do they call us? Even they try to whitewash chattel slavery, and call it and say it was a form of indentured servitude.
Yeah.
Indentured servitude is absolutely different. From chattel slavery. Indentured servitude, 5, 6, 7 years, you will be free, right? And
Yep.
so that was something that was the Chinese came over here via indentured servitude. The people from over in Europe sent their criminals over here to serve, as indentured servants for 5, 6, 7 years because they were criminals. At the end
The
of their
Irish
sentence,
came
they
over
were
here
set
in
free.
servitude. Irish,
Huh?
Italian, Chinese, Japanese.
Yeah, all of them.
Yep.
They came over. A lot of them came over here as indentured servants.
Yep.
And when
The
they got here and
Slavs.
served their time, they were
Those
set
are
free.
yes. Yes. We
And
have
so then a
choice.
lot of those criminals became the patty rollers too, became the slave catchers, and what do they call them? The one that was over the
Oh, the
slaves in the fields and
overseers.
stuff. Huh?
The overseers.
The overseers, yes, absolutely.
Yep.
They
Those are
became
your
that.
Italian and your Irish policemen of today.
That's right. Fire the fire department, the Scottish, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
divided everything off. The police departments, law enforcement was giving to the Irish and the Italian,
Mm-hmm.
the
Mm-hmm.
Scottish. They were given
Fire
the
department.
yes, fire
Mm-hmm.
department. The
Mm-hmm.
Jews were given all of the financial institutions
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
media, and they broke it all up.
Yeah, broke it all down, and all they had to do was
Nothing.
agree to be under the system of white supremacy racism, to call themselves white. That's all they had to do.
Yep, that's right. And
That's
anybody
all they had to
a
do.
Negroid, when you come in here through immigration, you are Caucasian.
Yeah. Yep, that's right.
You're Caucasian.
No matter your nationality. Absolutely.
That's right. Whether
Absolutely.
you
You are
don't have
absolutely
no
right.
say
Beans and
in the
cornbread. Girl, you are absolutely right. And
matter.
even on the Statue of Liberty, they don't even call us chattel slaves. What do they call us? They call us
Huddled masses.
involuntary immigrants.
That's what they trying to
Involuntary
say.
immigrants.
We were involuntary immigrants. But
Involuntary immigrants.
I've been seeing a lot of white people on TikTok, and they just as angry. I won't
Yeah.
say a lot. They're just as angry about what's going on with our
Mhm.
people as we
Well,
are.
they asked for it.
They want their children to know the truth. And I say shout out to those people.
Oh, they want us about us. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yes, there's a
I
lot
don't
of
understand. I
people on
don't agree
TikTok
with
coming out.
whitewashing.
Yep.
The
They
heart,
don't
like
want
when
it.
they take people, black people advocate for taking down those Confederate statues and stuff like
Yep.
that. Why are you taking those statues down? People need to know what the unwhitewashing of this country, the original sin of this country, which is slavery, right?
Yeah.
Which they have never made right or never even really apologized for. Why are you taking down those statues and stuff?
I
You
agree.
need to
Yeah.
be reminded of what you did to our people, right?
Yeah.
Why are you trying to hide it? Are you embarrassed about it now? You're not embarrassed about it. You just don't want to look bad no more. because the United Nations has condemned the United States of America for chattel slavery and how they treat people in Jim Crow and segregation and everything else. The United States has condemned, I mean, the UN, the United Nations, has condemned the United States of America for those actions, even to this day. You
Yeah.
know, they look down upon the U.S. because of the actions, how they treated us, and how they are treating us in this country.
It's funny that you've never seen any one of us, any one of our members of our community go to The Hague.
Mm. Yeah, beans and cornbread, beans and cornbread. I can't hear you if you're still talking. Beans and cornbread. I can't hear you if you're still talking, love. She might have got a call, y'all. Oh, you'll be back phone call. Okay, I didn't see that at first. But yeah, y'all, she absolutely right. I'm absolutely in agreement with what she's saying, Claude. And everybody else, if you're still in here listening. Yeah, she's absolutely right. But see, some of us actually know our history and our ancestry, and you don't want, and you what you want to do is be all the way. I know they make fun of the word woke, but you want the veil to be lifted off your eyes, because for as long as you got that veil over your eyes, as long as you suffer from a form of cognitive dissonance, okay, you will always be hustling backwards, okay, in my opinion, right? She fell down. Beans Corbett, you come back up if you want to. I just don't even, and then why would you vilify your own people for wanting the best for you? That is very interesting to me, you know. And I really don't understand it. So it just is what it is, y'all. But I have loved my conversation with Beans and Corbett, honey. She was spot on. She absolutely, it will behoove you, if you don't know anything about your ancestry, like from whence you came. It will be in your best interest to start doing your research about your family, right? For the fact that you are still here is something to be proud of, right? It is nothing to be embarrassed about when you say stuff like slave food, or you feel embarrassed that your ancestors, you are descended from slavery, because there are a lot of black people that feel embarrassed about that. Why? Because if your ancestors weren't as strong as they were, you wouldn't be here right to this day. So that is something to be proud of. That is something to be honored, you know. And so I am so glad that I had the opportunity to speak to somebody that understood where I was coming from. Like I said, it even happened yesterday. I really enjoyed that panel. We had a couple of kerfuffles. I do have a takeover spirit, but I don't like misinformation, and I don't like when we having these conversations and people live in a fantasy world, right? Nothing is black and white when it comes to me. I live in a gray area about a lot of things. Now, some things are just as they are, with me, but I live in a gray area when it comes to a lot of things, and I hate that I be misunderstood, but child, it is what it is. You know what I mean? And when it comes to the Bible, and when it comes to religion, I would say that, and politics, as well as the word, beyond religion, spirituality, the word, because the word to me has never been modified. Is it infallible? No, it's not infallible. The way that we dissect it is infallible. The way that we decode it is infallible. You know what I mean? I mean, it's not infallible, in other words, right? And so, but the word is the word, point blank, period, right? And so, when it comes to some things, I'm in a gray area, but some things I'm not. I'm black and white about. But a lot of people around here, not only do they not have a sense of humor, they act like they can't. Uh, uh, More than one thing can't be true at a time, right? So, like I said, example. Just because I want the better for my people and I say I'm black first, it don't mean that I'm worried about hating everybody else. I ain't thinking about nobody else. Okay. And then another thing, Cruz came up her and she was talking about, and I agree with her. But a lot of things I be getting mixed up because I think, things should. I mean, I think it should be a given, right? We were up there talking about, helping the community as a collective, right? And she was basically saying, no, charity starts at home. You need to help yourself first. And I'm sitting up here thinking the whole time she's right, but I thought that was a given. I just assumed everybody knew that you had to take care of your own first. You know what I mean? I thought it was a given. And I'm thinking, oh, okay, well, maybe it's not a given, so I don't know. But anyway, I'm going to get off of here, y'all. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I did not plan on really coming on here this morning and but I really did want to do this little recap since I was up. And like I said, now if y'all want a good little kiki, go over there and listen to what happened on Nest yesterday, because baby, Pizzaro was over there swinging for her life. She was trying, child. She wasn't landing no punches, but she was trying, child. She was trying, but oh Lord, I said, baby, girl, it was a mistake to hit that link, child. This is not your friend. All right. Oh Lord. I said, I got a good little, excuse me, good little kiki out of there. But anyway, let me get off here. Right. So, child, thank y'all for joining me once again. Like, share, and subscribe. Y'all check out my product tag bag. I got some nice little for y'all know I love me some smell goods, right? So I put some candles on there and some Bath and Body Works perfumes on there, Bath and Body Works candles, cause I love me to smell good, right? I love for my house to smell good, right? That's my thing, right? So y'all check out my product tag bag, right? Once again, please like, share, and subscribe. I'm gonna get off of here. You guys be safe, stay warm, have a nice rest of your weekend, right? And I love you in the way that Christ loves you. And I'm gonna talk to y'all later. Thanks for this conversation. I loved it. Bye bye. Peace.